AFO was my first con that I've worked on, so it was my first experience with everyone. So I don't know, it's just AFO is different than I think most cons, and I can touch base a little bit more to like fans. And I haven't been in too many cons, but it is you know, it's different. I mean, I meet a lot of people that I think they say I've changed their life and stuff like that. So it's just good. I meet crazy fans. Like one fan I met here is pretty crazy. I mean like crazy in a crazy way, like in a good way, you know? Like I'm a little crazy in a good way. And then I meet just a bunch of different people. So, I mean, being at cons, I think it's a good way to kind of reach out to your fans and, you know, let them know you're still here. And honestly, just appreciate that you still have fans. Because, you know, what would a con be if you didn't have fans? You wouldn't be here, you know?
So you say that you're a little bit crazy. So were you like that as a kid? Were you a little...
I was a little crazy. Yeah, doctor thought I had ADD, but, you know, I was a little crazy. I acted up my whole life, so that's why I wanted to be an actor. Because my mom and dad were like, you're acting up. So I was like, I'll just be an actor. They tell me all the time I'm acting up. So, you know, that's why I wanted to be an actor. I was modeling like around 12 years old. I was modeling. I modeled for a company called Olive Pit Productions. And I had a character name. My character's name was Jason Barnes at the time, not Jason Frank. And they sold like posters, t-shirts and all that. I did a big photo shoot. I got paid good money too. And then it was in all the teen magazines, like when I was 12 years old. But the problem is, like, everybody ordered stuff, you know, because they knew me, and the company just shut down. So it like took everyone's money and stuff like that. Yeah, so Olive Pit Productions no longer, was never, I don't think, a company in the first place. But it was, I was like doing skateboarding stuff, and then I was in my karate gi doing sidekicks and, you know, flying sidekicks, stuff like that. So it was just kind of, you know, on a skateboard type of thing, you know, like model posters, you know, teen stuff. And then from there, I auditioned for Power Rangers when I was about 18, 19, somewhere in there. And then, you know, then got the part, and then that was it. My first day on set, everyone was nice, and it was a good experience, but it was different, you know? Like doing fight scenes were completely different than fighting for real. Like I was hitting stunt guys, and they're like, oh, you don't have to hit me, man, this is the movie. So I had to learn to kind of adapt and make changes and stuff like that. I just learned, you know, camera angles. I paid attention to camera angles, directing. I paid attention to a lot of ways you can shoot movies and television shows and stuff like that for, you know, an inexpensive way. Because Saban was really good at that, using camera angles and, you know, making monsters appear that they're bigger and stuff like that. So I just learned a lot of different things. All those loyal, dedicated fans I have. You know, the 10 years that I've worked on the show, I meet a lot of people that know me. So no matter what industry I go into, if it's like clothing industry, all those fighters know who I am. You can't buy fans, you know? I mean, you can't. I mean, you know, they're there or they're not. So either you have fans or you don't have fans. So that's why I come here, so you can appreciate that you do have fans still.
Power Rangers, man, like, what was it like getting that initial call for you being onto the show with you not being a part of the original cast?
I think I kind of did what you did. You took, you know, you inboxed me and said, hey man, can I interview you? Yeah, sure. Some people say that. Some people say they're gonna come, they don't show up. So I'm always like, yeah, no problem. And then you said that, you planned it, and you made it happen. That's kind of what happened to Power Rangers, is because I don't sit around. I make things happen. Like the school you see, everything you see is stuff that I make happen. And what I mean by that is everyone here understands. Everyone's hustling. Everyone's doing their own thing. That's kind of like what I was when I grew up. I went to an agency. I had long hair. You know, I cut my hair, and then well, they told me to cut my hair because I'll never be a role model. So they said, hey, why don't you cut your hair, come back, maybe we'll represent you. I was 17, had long hair, so went there, cut my hair, came back, and said, hey, I cut my hair. You know, I felt like a different person, you know. I said, I cut my hair, and can you, you know, represent and stuff? And they said, no, I'm too busy right now, I'm too busy. So I was like, okay, in my head, I'm like, I'm gonna be nice to this dude. So I wouldn't go away. I just kept saying, hey man, I cut my hair, I did what you said, now honor your word. And finally he was just like, I don't want to represent you. He frantically looked around and said, oh, here, this is perfect, this is for you. It was called Phantoms at the time. And got the audition and booked the role, and then the next thing you know, you wanted to represent me. That's kind of how it went. And even going back and saying, yeah, okay, even though you didn't want to represent me, I did get the audition from you. I'm happy to give you 15%, no problems at all. And then they just switched it on me and put some big word that means forever. I don't use big words. That means forever. And I was like, guys, I'm trying to be nice to you. Like, you didn't want to represent me. I don't even need to come back and offer you 15%. And then they sued me. So I was in court. And I just started Power Rangers, and I had no representation at all. I just said, I'll just go in and I'll just tell the lawyer the truth. They sued me and said, well, you know, we got you the role. And I said, you know, guys, you didn't want to represent me. I've asked over and over, sign me, sign me, sign me, and you said no, and you gave me a piece of paper, and I left, and I was on my way. I went back, tried to give you guys a couple years of commission, and then you put some other words in there to try to make it seem like it was forever. I've been fair enough, and I just represented myself. They showed me all these documents that I had nothing to do with, and it was yellow paper, and then they gave it to the judge, and I said, and it was blue, and I said, Your Honor, I didn't see that paper. They said, well, they're supposed to show you everything. I said, yeah, but they didn't show me those blue papers. I saw yellow. He said, did you show them these papers? They said, oh, no, we transferred notes and stuff. And he's like, I'm dismissing it. So he dismissed the case.
Wow.
And, yeah, that's a lot of things. A lot of times it's such a long thing to explain.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where, you know, you believe in yourself. You know, you're going to the next level. And then the next thing, you know, they believe in you because you made it happen and everybody wants to be a part of you. You know what I mean? And I bet you there's times where, and I don't even know, but I bet you there's times where you reach out to people, you want to interview, they'll maybe look at your numbers or look at stuff and say, no, I don't want to do that. Like when you inbox me, I didn't really look at your numbers. What attracted me is that you know, interview, you know, it was hip hop because I love hip hop, entrepreneurs and celebrity personalities. You know what I mean? And that's what attracted me. I didn't care how many followers you have, and then I found out later, but I didn't care. It was one of those things where if you're willing to put that time to come out and fly and interview, then that person should be willing to give you their direct time. You know what I mean?
It was actually 225 episodes.
Oh, it was?
But I was the longest running ranger because I was tons of different colors. The green, the white.
Okay, right. I was just talking.
The red.
Right, because you started out as a green, you went away, and the fans were like, we got to bring him back,
That's
and so
correct,
they brought you back as all these other
Yep.
different characters.
People always ask why I, you know, talk about the Green Ranger. It's been the most popular out of every ranger I've been because I was like 5 different colors. So it's become like a world icon, which I'm so happy and blessed to be that guy. You know what I mean? But
we got to ask you a little bit more about that. But
Sure.
before, I know that you did something really cool with kids that we want to make sure that we get to while you were here in Chicago.
Sure,
So what'd you do yesterday? This is so cute.
I'm a martial arts instructor, and I've been doing it for 34 years. And I have 4 Rising Sun karate schools back home. And I love kids, and I love working with kids. And I think that's my gift, is teaching and working with kids and teaching them brotherhood, dedication, respect, cooperation, discipline, confidence, attitude, and self-respect. Southside Chicago, working with inner city kids, giving them hopes actually to be a leader in life, and teach them choosing right from wrong. And sometimes they're going to be on their own, and they got to make the right choices. So
how did it come about for you? So you start out because, like, again, it's 20 years now of the Power Rangers, which just absolutely blows my mind.
Me too.
Crazy.
Me too.
I mean, even again, I have a 7-year-old now that's like watching, and I'm thinking, oh my
I have
God.
a almost 17-year-old who grew up watching
Right,
it.
so everything in between. So when this first started, did you realize, or were you like, oh yeah, I'll go out there for a day, I'll put on the suit, and I'll like do
you know, I'm just passionate about what I do. Like, you guys are passionate. Your show is great. You guys are passionate about what you do, and it didn't bother. I wasn't there to be rich and famous. I was there to do my job. I just love acting. I would have done it for free. And yes, sure. When I looked at the show, my brother did actually. He played my brother on the show. When he looked at it, he said, "This is cheesy." And then I thought to myself, "Listen,
That's what I was going to ask. Like, did you?
kids love cheese. They love cheese sticks. They love cheese sandwich. They love macaroni and cheese.
Anything with
and now
cheese.
they're gonna love Power Rangers."
Right.
So yeah, I never thought. You know, I'm doing the show next year, Super Mega Force on Nickelodeon, so you can see the return of the Green Ranger. My fans are anywhere from the ages of 4 because of Dino Thunder to 3 generations of moms seeing kids and their kids having kids, and I can't handle another generation because then I'll be super old. But
The Grandpa Ranger.
yeah, it's because of Netflix and everything else and the social media is that these kids, you know, look at it and
You must be swamped at Comic-Con. I'm going to be there this weekend with
Super
my
swamped,
kids.
yeah.
That's what I was going to say. Like, you know, you could call it cheesy, but listen, when you see the way Jason gets swamped when you head out, because they do recognize you, it's crazy at a place like Comic-Con.
Yeah, it's super. The Wizard World is a really huge show here in Chicago. It's a veteran show. It's been around for years, and yesterday was even amazing, and it just opened. So I have really good, loyal fans. I'm very active on social media to my fans, and I'm a fan of my fans, because without them, we wouldn't be where we're at today.
Okay, Jason, I'm sorry to interrupt you. There's so many questions for you. But being a superhero of sorts, I'm sure that you see all kinds of people. I got to know a story from you about one of the fans. Okay. What do you see? What are they wearing? What's the craziest nutty thing you saw?
Craziest, well, I'll tell you about the celebrities. The celebrity came on set, and I didn't know who he was. And tons of celebrities, because they have kids. Yeah. So it came on set, and I just saw him last weekend to remind him about this. He came to set, and they said, "You know who this is?" And I said, "I'm sorry, I don't know anyone in the industry." Yeah. I just go with how people are. You know what I mean? How they act. So this guy comes in, and they say, "You know who he is?" And I said, "No." And they said, "Do it." And so he goes,
oh,
right? And I'm standing there, and I'm thinking, if this dude licks me, I'm still gonna punch him in the face, because I don't know who he is. Then they said, Gene, they said, "Oh yeah, of course, it was Gene." We went on an aircraft to do the movie. We hung in a little bit. He was revamping his career, and then I just saw him last week, and he says, "Of course I remember you," but because his kids were fans, and then he's like, "Will I get a discount on new autographs now?" I said, "Gene, I will give you whatever you want. Just sign a few things for me."
Can you do the special thing?
There's several of them, but the old school one is. Are we on this camera? All right, here we go.
Is this how we turn into
Dragon Zord? Just like that. There we go. It's morphin' time right there.
Okay, do another one for us before we go to break.
All right, one more. Here we go. We're going to go to Turbo. This is actually one I kind of made up. All right, we're going to turn to the left. You ready? Turn to the left.
Sure. Oh, this is how I drive. That's exactly how I drive.
There we go. Now you know 2 morphing sequences.
Now we can be Power Rangers.
Very nice,
Jason. You guys are honorary Power Rangers right now as we speak.
What are you laughing at? I think we did that well.
You did.
She had Trekkie wine. All right, Jason is good to me. And you like wearing that suit, by the way? That's all good, too?
You know what? Spandex doesn't lie, and I was just in it on the new show, so I'm glad I'm in shape to wear the spandex.
And you smell
good. Thank you.
One of the villains there. As the Power Rangers fearlessly face everyday Ivan Ooze. Well, anyway, they're coming to the big screen this Friday, and joining us now is the talented young actor who plays Tommy, the White Power Ranger in both the hit TV series and now in the new film. Here's Jason David Frank. How you doing? This is my wife, Florence. Have a seat, big guy. It's good to see you again.
Nice seeing you again. How's your back?
Good. Fine. Reminiscing about the last time you were here, we had Cody out here doing his Power Ranger moves. Right. Yeah, you're one of his favorites.
Idol.
Why don't you say hello to Cody right now? Let's kiss up to Cody a little bit. Otherwise, right over there.
Hi, Cody. How you doing, buddy?
All right, that's enough. Okay. So now, for a guy who's just 21 years old, I mean, you have really done a lot, and I guess you owe a lot to the sport of karate, right?
Yeah, a lot.
You started when you were 4?
Yeah, I started when I was 4 years old. And it was something I loved, man. I didn't want to play baseball, basketball, and things.
It was your sport.
Yeah, it was like, just karate was it, man. You know what I mean? I'd do my homework, and then I'd go to the dojo, and I'd stay in there for, my sensei was like, "We're closing now." Okay.
And you were still working. Yeah. And then as you grow up, you continued it.
Yeah,
some kids leave it, and go on to something else, but not you.
But you were teaching karate at a pretty young age, weren't you, Jay?
Yeah, I was about, I started teaching when I was about 12. I was about 12 years old.
Out in Southern California, Covina,
California, yeah.
And then what happened in your teens?
Well, there was a school, the school that I used to train in when I was 4 years old, I used to train at it. It was called Red Dragon. It was in Covina. And when I turned 18, I ended up buying the school with my partner Derek. And it was weird to own the school and, be so little trained in the arts. You know what I mean? It was like I sit there now, and it's like I'm sitting in Sensei's desk going, I'm like running the thing.
18 years old and, running a whole business, that's quite an accomplishment.
Yeah.
So did they come around and seek you out, or did you go to an open casting call to get this role?
Man, long stories in and out. I've been trying to get in acting ever since I was little, and, I went to one manager guy. The guy said, "Cut my hair." I cut my hair. My hair was long always, and I said, "I'll cut my hair. I'll do anything, man. I'll shave my head bald. I don't care." And and then I went to him, and then I read, and I cut my hair. Then he didn't represent me. He was like, "Well, we're not representing at this time." And I was like, "Man, my hair's short. Now you're not representing me." You know what I mean? And and then there was an open casting call, and I went to the open casting call.
They must have had thousands of kids there, right?
There was a lot of people, yeah. Originally, the Green Ranger that I tried out for was going to be Asian. So, when I went in, there was a lot of Asian people. And so my second callback, I got called back with like 10 girls, and I'm sitting there going,
wow, geez, I hope the Green Rangers, is it a girl or a guy? Did I get the part?
Strange.
You know what I mean? But they were casting for the Yellow Ranger at that time, so there was 2 casting for the yellow and the green. So there was just I was the only guy there on the second callback, and I was like, phew, thank God.
So then another callback, and then you finally got it.
Yeah, then I got the part.
So what is the difference? I mean, excuse me, Jason, I'm not really into this. Spider-Man I know all about. But the white as opposed to the yellow as opposed to the green, are there supposed to be different layers of characters there?
Do the colors signify?
Represent anything?
They do to me. I mean, different colors, as an actor and stuff. But not really,
Doesn't mean anything.
No.
Yeah. Now you shot this in Australia.
Yeah, we shot the movie in
like?
Australia. It was interesting. It was a lot of fun, and to go somewhere else. I mean, some was California. Never really traveled before.
So you go. You're freeing the Earth from its various villains.
Yes.
Yeah, like this guy we just saw.
Ivan Ooze. Yeah. Paul Freeman. He did a great job. When you see the movie, he's got so much sense of humor. You guys are gonna love it too, not just the kids.
Yeah.
I mean, it's great. He's so funny. He's funny, man.
Well, you have a 2-year-old too, don't you?
Yeah,
Jason?
yeah. Little Jacob.
Pretty
He's
soon,
watching it probably.
he'll be-
Does he know what's going on with the Power Rangers?
Yeah.
He does.
knows. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's take a look at a clip now from the movie. Is this the Ooze character again?
It's a very
Let me ask
impressive
you one
Jason.
thing, okay? This is the most. How do you put this gi on?
Yeah, just like that, man.
I know, but don't you tie it anywhere?
Yeah, you can tie it.
Tie it for me, will you?
Normally you need a belt.
So you're black, you
Oh,
represent evil, and this is good, right? Mr. Good.
Okay, here we go, big guy.
All right, man.
Now, shall I warm up? Shall I warm you up?
Yeah, I'm just gonna warm.
Joy, can you hold this
Sure.
for a second? I'm going to do what you do.
Okay. All right.
Okay, I'll do mine first. Get down there. Ha! Oh. Jeez, that hurts. I'm not kidding you. Was I supposed to break this?
Not yet.
Okay, Jason, it's all yours. And don't try this at home now, kids.
I want to tell you guys, don't try this at home. Please. And it takes a lot of concentration, a lot of skill in martial arts and sport. Make sure you guys don't try this at home.
Man, that was great. You okay?
Yes, sir.
Are you
Oh.
bleeding? Is that? Oh.
Wow, that was
spectacular
yeah. I can't even
With your
break
head.
one with
your
my head. So you used your forearm, didn't you?
Yeah, you can use your forearm. You can go ahead and use your forearm.
Don't
the whole
do-
trick is
Regis.
to drill through, and pretend they're not there. You don't see it. Just want to drill straight through it. But don't concentrate. Don't look at the grip. Just look through it. You don't even see it. You don't even see it. Drill it.
Holy cow, I don't know how you broke 6. What's the highest limit you can break?
Before it was about like 8 or 9, something like that. I used to break with my head like 7
Wow.
of these.
Have you ever hurt your?
But I'm an actor now, you know.
Yeah,
I don't want to look like Van Damme.
Yeah.
Well, I got the bump on my head.
Is there anything else around here I can smash coming?
How about a pencil?
What about this tape?
Give the man a pencil.
Watch this.
Here, Regis.
I did it, Jason. All right, the Mighty Morphin movie opens on Friday all around America. We'll be right back with a great singer, Etta James.
Nice.
I did the Lord Draken, and then we're doing the Legend of the White Dragon. This is full feature. Hasbro's kind of put a stop on almost everything. And I paid for the Lord Draken. I wanted to show them how popular it was going to be. And then it's not just about the characters. It's about where you would put your energy and passion with the fans. And this is something that me and Aaron have been working on for 4 years. And the Legend of the White Dragon, let me tell you, working with Mark Dacascos, we got A-list actors, Mark Michael Madsen played my dad. And we got a ton of people. So to answer your question on that, I'm so busy working on our pre-sequel and our other comic book. I loved it. I only kept up with it for a certain amount of time.
Okay, but you have the Soul of the Dragon series that trade paperback that came out. Was kind of like a continuation of the character.
Yeah.
You and Kat got married. You had a son who became a SPD Power Ranger. How was that? How involved were you creating this?
Again, I'll throw it back to Aaron Shonky. We talked in 2013 to do a Green Ranger series. And it was much kind of like what you saw in the book. And at that time, 2013, I was thinking, well, you know, the whole Power Ranger situation. But anyway, I thought it was great. I was involved in it. There was a lot of back issues. And I said, hey, don't write no more back issues. I may be old, but I can still pull it off. But it was good. And I had to choose between Catherine for my character choice. I decided to choose Catherine. Some fans were like, but it was my thing because Catherine's such a sweet girl in real life and in the book and in the series. I think it's something that she deserved, and it kind of went that way. I pushed for JJ when I went back for the Ninja Steel. They didn't want to put him in it, so I was like, he needs to have a son. Here we are, 30 years later, right? Hasbro hasn't done anything for the adults. And you are my kids, and that's why I'm sticking to my dream, the Legend of the White Dragon, the whole new universe, but it's something for us, because I'm not going back to a kid's show. I got tattoos, I don't want to cover it up anymore.
Absolutely.
And I need a little bit more violence. Sorry kids, you're my kids, so that's the way it is.
Absolutely, and I want to ask you about that movie coming out next year. So when did that really get started? Did you write the whole thing? Because I know you've obviously done Superpower D a couple times.
Yeah.
So when did that get started with The Legend of the White Dragon?
Aaron flew himself down in 2013. We talked about the Green Ranger. He did the White Ranger beatdown, and this has been a dream of ours for years, and at least 10 years in the making. When we first kickstarted it, that was not my idea of what I wanted. I didn't want to tie into the universe. I didn't want to get shut down by Hasbro. So me and Aaron had a script that we went the second time we kickstarted it. I had to follow my heart and passion of what we wrote. And so yeah, it was Aaron and Alex and myself story. I'm not the best writer, but you know, we put it together, and we had a private investor step up, and the whole cast just assembled based off friendship, but also not just friendship. I didn't ask. You read the script as an actor, and if you accept it, that means it's a good movie. So David Ramsey, he loves it. Mark Dacascos, all these guys love it. I can only bring you to a certain point, but the script has to sell you, and the script is great.
Awesome. I did want to ask you about how I am also a girl dad. I noticed you post a lot with your daughter on Instagram, TikTok, and all of that. I just wanted to ask you about, like, can you give me any advice? As my daughter is 7 years old, she's coming tomorrow. I'm hoping to get a signature from you for her, have her meet you. Do you have any advice for me as she's getting older?
My daughter's 17. I did put her in the movie. She did a fantastic job in the movie. She just had her first concert, so I gotta check in with her right now. Advice: spend time and listen. And like, everyone always jumps kids. No. They have their own opinion. They don't listen enough. Validate. I wish I had learned that a long time ago, but there's no handguide. Just try to be there and validate. When they're stressed, they're stressed. It's like, you're only 7. What are you stressed about? They're stressed. They have their own stress issues. Then later on, you learn. You know, whatever the stress issue is, you gotta listen. And I sure wish I did that a little bit more with Jenna. But like, today was her first concert, and I was supposed to call her right now. But I gotta do this, and I'm gonna call her right afterwards. But you know, fans and my family's important, so I try to balance it. It was a soap opera for kids, and I lost powers, and people cared, and you know, I was only hired for 10 episodes. And, you know, 200 and something episodes later, 2 feature films, Return in the Super Mega Force this year on Nickelodeon. You know, just still going strong. Look at this. 15 years ago.
More than 20 years later, fans are lining up at comic conventions across the country for a chance to meet their favorite superhero. We sat down with him at Wizard World Comic Con in Richmond, Virginia.
My character was kind of gonna die, like, you know, like in the Japanese footage, he's gone, but we ran out of footage, so my character was like done. And I was happy with it. I never wanted to become the leader. It just, you know, I didn't take anybody's spot. I just created space for Tommy to be in that position, and and God's definitely had his hands in his plan for the ultimate plan to say, okay, I'm going to take care of you and lead you through a challenging life, kick downs and losses.
Talking about his faith comes easy today, although that relationship started with a difficult loss, the death of his older brother. Seeing his pain, Jason's wife invited him to church.
I didn't really understand what the whole, church thing was about. And then, probably when I lost my brother, you know what I mean? So, sorry, it's just...
Eric Ray Frank played David Trueheart on Power Rangers. He died in 2001, just months before turning 30.
But, when I lost my brother, it was like, people were like telling me like, I need God and all that stuff. And man, I was like, if, one more person tells me that, then that's what it is.
The tattoo-covered superhero felt right at home at Crosby Church in Texas. Pastor Keenan Smith helped start Team Impact, a group of traveling professional athletes, wowing crowds with their exploits.
I'm from LA, so like this church is like cowboy boots. Pastor Keenan's breaking things, breaking bricks, and I was instantly attracted to him. I was like, yeah, man, this guy, we sparred, we wrestled, and he used that to attract people to church.
The Green Ranger is doing his part.
Good luck, feel better? God bless. Yeah.
To attract people to a relationship with Christ.
I reached 5 million people in a week through Facebook and Instagram, and I'm just blessed to do that. I think living it and speaking the excitement will pique your curiosity. And my tattoo, that I'm strong, that, I'm tatted on my arm with the Jesus and tap, strong about it.
He also teamed up with fellow MMA fighter Patrick Hutton to start the first Christian-inspired line of MMA clothing and fight gear. It's called Jesus Didn't Tap.
We came up with Jesus Didn't Tap. That means that he didn't quit, he didn't give up, tap out. He could have tapped, snap, anytime. He could have just called thousands of angels if he wanted to. A tap out is an expression of I can give mentally and physically, and I give up, I give up, I give up. He never did that. We're in Auckland.
Jason has no plans of giving up either. He has his eyes on another Power Ranger movie, runs 2 karate schools.
You're stuck in Lexington, and tomorrow we're waking up at 7 a.m.
and shares his family life in a web and television series called My Morphin Life.
As 24 hours in a day, I put as much passion into that day so I can have a future. So when I did day by day and only hired for 10 episodes, I put all the passion into day by day.
And thanking God for the strength. Ephraim Graham, CBN News, Richmond, Virginia.